Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with an unboxing video. So this is a product that I pre-ordered as soon as I saw the artist announce it on her Instagram page. Okay. So we have here from Sweetwater, upside down, the let's see if this is the right thing. This does not look like it's the right thing according to the box, but it should be the Orianthi limited edition Crush RT guitar combo amp, and it looks like the standard one. Let's see if that's just the box that comes in, or if so it looks like this is, yep, this is the correct thing. It just comes in, it just does not have a unique box. So, if you get one of these, do not be alarmed. It is not in a box showing a white amplifier, and instead showing the typical orange one. So, what this is it is a 20 watt solid state amplifier with a 8-inch speaker, one speaker, and it is of course the Orianthi edition. She has a much more expensive tube version. I won't even say version, but tube orange amp that is her signature amp. But she says that this is her go-to practice amp backstage. And I watched a video of her playing it. It sounds great. I've always loved Orianthi, going back to I can remember when she had her very first PRS SE signature model. I think it was one of the very first SEs, if I recall correctly. Her own music, the great video she did with Steve Vai. I mean, she's released a ton of great music over the years. She's also great to follow on social media. She goes live on Instagram often, and just an amazing, amazing guitar player. I've always loved her playing, and her tube amp is out of my budget at the moment, but this was $219. And you can see here, get the glare off there, limited edition with her facsimile of her signature etched into it. Let's see, I'm going to read you some specs here. Twin channel design, white Tolex, high gain preamp, 3-band EQ, chromatic tuner, aux in, CabSim loaded headphone input, and of course 20 watts, and a custom voice of the world speaker. Let's see, turn to where you can see it. These are the controls. Try and get to where I can see it. Reverb. I guess this is the dirty channel. Treble, middle, bass, gain, the clean channel, input, headphone input. Take a look at the back. You can add a foot switch. But this is just a very nice, light little amplifier. I had an orange, one of the little micro heads. I think it was the Tiny Terror, I think, that would have been about 8 years ago. And I hated to sell it, but I had to sell it because at the time I was changing jobs and needed the money. And I've always missed it. That's the only orange amplifier I've had. I really enjoyed that, and that was, I believe, a solid state amp, and I really liked it. And this should be a lot of fun. I don't want to say to replace my katana, but maybe use this in the place of the katana sometimes that I use for low volume, late night playing. That and the cable-free guitar Tune Boy. And I also really like that it has a built-in tuner, as you can see. So what I'll do is I will get this plugged up, try it out with a couple of guitars, and of course, since it's Orianthi, a PRS, at least one, and see what this little thing can do. Okay, let's get some sounds with this PRS S2 standard 24. Let me say before I get started, because this would not be very exciting to show, I used my Polytune pedal on the floor to tune the guitar and double checked it with the tuner on the amp, and they were one for one the same. So that definitely speaks well for the amp, because the Polytune pedals are great. So I have the volume on the clean channel on 4, bass, middle, and treble all on 5, no reverb. This is the bridge humbucker. My neighbor. It's louder than I thought it would be. Middle position. That's both humbuckers. This has been humbucker mode so far, and the neck. Still on the neck. Surprised me there how punchy it was. Oh, and the let's see, the gain is on 3 as well. Middle position. And the bridge. Now I'm splitting the humbuckers into single coil mode. This is the bridge. Middle. Neck. Again, all single coils this time around. There's neck, middle. Oh, and in case you can't tell, this is an SM57. So, bridge. So let's play around with it some. This is with the first the mid and bass on 5, treble on 5, treble crank, backed up all the way. Okay, now I'm going to do the same with the mids. 5, 10, backed off all the way. Bass 5, 10, backed off. Okay. Now I'm going to try, let's try moving the gain up to about 7. I'm not sure that's just for the dirty channel. Trying to decipher the labels, I think the gain control might only be for the dirty channel, because I'm going to crank it all the way back and forth. I don't think it's doing anything. But let's see. Now let's try the reverb out. The reverb has not been on. Let's try it on about 2. 4, 6, 8, all the way to 10. Can't remember exactly how that goes, but you get the idea. So now I'm just going to play around some. I'm going to try the bass on about 4, say the mids on about 6, and treble on about 7. Bridge humbucker. That's reverb on about 4. Middle position. let's just try the split coil, so single coil mode, middle position. Now the humbuckers. Middle position. Okay, now that we've tried out the clean sounds, let's do some of the dirty tones. Okay, and between the clean and dirty sounds, I've tuned up again using just the amp this time. So now we're going to hear the dirty channel, as it's called. That's just, you'll see the controls now, just a little switch you flip back and forth on the top of the amp. And I'm starting out with the gain on 5, bass, middle, and treble on 5, and it's about 3.5 on the volume. So this is the bridge humbucker. Both humbuckers. And the neck humbucker. Now go to single coil mode, starting with the bridge. Middle. And the neck. And that was single coil mode. Let's go back to the full bridge humbucker. Middle position. Neck. Now let's turn the gain up to about 7. Back on the bridge. Middle. One thing that's good about this as a practice amp is with the 8-inch speaker, it doesn't have an overwhelming amount of bass, so I'm not like, it's loud enough to be enjoyable to play, but it's not shaking things on the walls or hopefully not bothering my neighbors next door. So let's go back to the bridge and let's just crank the gain up even hot. Let's just crank it all the way. Actually, for this, I'm going to single coil mode, because on the song I'm playing, I use the single coil. Hear a lot of noise though. Let's back the game back to about 3. Feel a huge difference there in the volume. Okay, that's about 4 right there. It's kind of, might be the sweet spot. Let's see. Now, let's turn that up just a little bit. Still a little bit weak for a higher gain sound there. It's about 5 on the gain. There we go. Again, the volume is on about 4. Turn it up just a little bit. Okay, so all the EQs are on 5. Now we're going to adjust the treble up and down, just like we did with the cleans. 5. This is 10. Rolled off. Big difference. Okay, mids. 5. 10. Rolled off. I think a more pronounced difference than on the clean channel. Bass at 5. 10. Rolled off. And then back to 5. Okay, so I'm going to turn the bass up to 7, treble up to 7. Actually, let's turn them up to 8. Turn the mids down to 3. And let's turn the gain up to 7. So get that kind of sound. Okay, let's get some lead playing going here on the bridge pickup. Actually, for this, let me turn the bass back to 5, mids up to 7, and treble at 7. Try that again. amp. So, neck position. Getting some feedback. I'm actually impressed. Really good tone, I think, for a $219 amp. So now I'm going to grab a different guitar and we'll try it with an overdrive pedal on the clean channel. Okay, now I have the Sterling by Music Man St. Vincent Goldie with the gold foil mini humbuckers. I have it on the 4th position, which is the neck and middle pickups. We'll start off, kick the pedal off. This is going into the amp, clean with all EQs on 5. Kicking on the drive pedal. The settings are as you see on your screen. Pickup. And the neck pickup. Okay, leaving all that the same, turn the dirty channel down about the same level. I'm going to kick on the dirty channels to see how they stack. Nice feedback there. That was on the bridge pickup. But you get an idea what it does. Now back to the clean channel. Bridge and middle pickups. spots. For $219, it's hard to go wrong with this. Has really good solid state clean sounds, good solid state distortion sounds, works pretty good with an overdrive pedal, and it has some really nice features. One thing I've not demonstrated, and will not, because I don't think I even have a cable at the moment that'll work and a device to do it with, but there is an aux input too, if you want to plug something in to play along with, I believe. But with a pretty good tuner, pretty good sound and reverb, clean sounds, dirty sounds. The Orianthi edition of this amp, this would be a nice amp, just the regular version, but if you like Orianthi, or even just this white orange aesthetic, it's hard to go wrong with this for a practice amp. Who do I think this is for? I think that if this is your first amp or one of your first amps, it would be amazing. I think that if you got this for $219 and a Squire Affinity, say, or even one of the Epiphone bolt-on neck SGs or Les Pauls, I think for in the neighborhood of $500, I know it's not an insubstantial amount of money, a beginning guitarist would have all the gear they would need to get started. For someone more experienced, this is a great practice amp. If you were just going out to have fun and play with some friends, not doing anything that required a whole lot of volume, this would be great. Very lightweight. For an 8-inch speaker, I think it sounds pretty good. Again, for a situation where you might not want a whole lot of bass coming through a bigger speaker, this would be really nice. I actually plan on recording with this as a bit of a change of pace on some things. So I'm really pleased by this. I think for $219, this is a great value. No, it is not going to replace a high-end tube amp. You're not going to be, selling a $2,700 Orianthi orange amp to get this one. I'm looking over my AC10. I would absolutely take my AC10 over this all day, head to head. But of course, even the AC10 is, I can't remember how much it is now. I say that, I don't know how much it is now, but it's at least twice as much. And that's getting into substantial money for someone starting out or just for a practice amp. And it's a tube amp, so it's heavier. For something portable and fun to play around with, I can see why that she put her stamp of approval on this for the amp she likes to use backstage, because sometimes you don't need or can't even use a lot of volume. I think this is perfect for those situations. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, keep on rocking.